second.
No problem. Do they also, as part of this psychological operation planning, do they also conduct rituals?
Okay, you have to understand that the New World Order is very compartmentalized. So the people who do one thing not necessarily do the other, but the pyramid works in unison to achieve the same goal. When you are talking about, for example, people who human sacrifice, we can say human sacrifice is, of course, an important subject, and people have in mind the classics human sacrifice, either the child or even the grown-up man who is killed and sacrificed. But in other ways, you have also the sacrifice of a human fetus when it's aborted, and that's why Satanists have often encouraged abortion and retrieved those fetuses from the abortion for their own dirty deeds, for their own rituals. So for them to have a massive amount of people doing abortion is a good thing. That's why now that in countries like America, they have developed a political arm in the last 10 years called the Satanic Temple, they actively encourage abortion as well as other evil practices. So
we know that they're taking those fetuses and using them for their evil practices.
Often it happens. I had the confession of a high priest, a satanic high priest, who confessed to me, and actually then I think I published in Italy this interview that regarded the fact that the guy was involved with this kind of activities. So he was, of course, repenting for what he did, and he wanted to give me his, and he was a credible source, of course, because you have to also know your sources. But it's a compartmentalized world. So you will have people who are only interested in the geopolitical matters within the New World Order, who don't want to have anything to do with the esoteric world, especially in the last, I would say, since the Second World War, since what happened with the fascination for the occult of the Third Reich, of the Nazis, the occult factor has been hidden to the masses much more and practiced by a much more limited, restricted inner circle of this New World Order. This inner circle is, of course, made of people from the best families, the high authorities in every country that participate maybe occasionally to this kind of ritual. But it's not.
Do we know who they are in Australia?
In Australia, there has been a lot of speculation. For who these people might be or not be.
So, if you asked me, I'd 100% say I have an aborted fetus skull inserted into my knee through my lateral knee capsule and over my polpliteal artery and vein, with the branding of Satan holding a child by the neck. Well, I see the 2 horns, 2 eyes, robe, 2 arms, below a 5-pointed star, and well, this here, that's the tracking mark from the screw, and I reckon I see something coming off down this way as well. That would have had to been branded in. And I also reckon here as well, I see like what kind of looks like a Freemason's rule. It comes down here, and then back up on that side there. So I took some up-close photographs of these things. But first, let's go through some anatomy. Just like you to notice the polpliteal artery and vein and tibial nerve, how that looks in a MRI. This is at that level of the knee. See the red line? It's like a sliced axial shot. Now, doesn't show the lateral knee capsule in this, but I'll get to that in a second. Just go through another one. See, that's the polpliteal artery and vein here at the middle level. And this here is the polpliteal artery and vein here at this level. Okay? I'm not sure if the camera's focusing correctly or it'll turn out, I don't know. But you can go to Google Images and type in polpliteal artery and vein MRI and then go through them all, and try find me a polpliteal artery and vein which looks like this. So I took a close-up photograph of it, and that's what the polpliteal artery and vein looks like in my knee when I get an MRI taken. To be more specific, it was taken on the 16th of the 2nd, 2022, and this is when I found these peculiar markings in my knee, and to what I firmly 100% believe is an aborted fetus skull shoved in the back of my knee as a part of satanic ritual abuse to kill me after they harvested my veins and tendons for other people's surgeries. Let's look at this one on Google Images. Thrombosis in polpliteal artery. So that's the polpliteal artery, that's the polpliteal vein. It seems like they've separated a bit, and some sort of muscle, gastrocnemius muscle or something, I think. One of the two muscles here or three muscles here has got it caught or something, and it's an polpliteal artery entrapment syndrome. So the polpliteal artery is compressed and it's causing thrombosis because it's entrapped. Now, the fucked up thing is, 1,600 people a day die from thrombosis. I was at Gold Coast Hospital and I was walking around the halls, when my kid was born, and then I saw these posters telling all the nurses to watch out for thrombosis, as it kills 1,600 people a day, and it's like 40% of them are in hospitals or something. So so that's if this does kill me, the doctors will say, oh, it's the most normal thing in the world to die from thrombosis. Yeah, we don't know what to say. Like 1,600 people a day die from it. It's nothing peculiar. But actually, when you review the MRIs, it's not natural. It hasn't been caused naturally by I've just done too much exercise and my muscles have got caught up, or I'm just old or whatever. It hasn't been caused naturally. It's been caused by the aborted fetus skull, which was inserted in my knees. The only reason I'm able to bring this to you as well and confidently say it's an aborted fetus skull is because they're greedy motherfuckers. So greedy. They're so greedy. All right. See this chunk out here? That's where they harvested my patellar tendon. Because they've harvested my patellar tendon, it's changed the like biomechanics of my knee, thus creating more. It'll be pull my knee this side where the patellar tendon is, because the patellar tendon's the strongest tendon in your body. So it'll pull it all on this side, relieving the pressure from this side, thus not crushing the skull completely. Whereas this is my left knee. The MRI was taken side by side, okay? So my legs were just side by side. It was comparing just side by side. So see how it's got a fucking patellar tendon, right? Okay, it's got a patellar tendon there. So this skull is crushed. And see those markings there as well? And those kind of look like markings, but they really opened me up on the right-hand side, so they would have got a good chance to fucking bash it in there. But yeah, see how it's either side of the lateral knee capsule. Either side of the lateral knee capsule. And it doesn't look like a fucking polpliteal artery and vein at all. Okay? It's crushed because they didn't harvest my patellar tendon on this side, whereas they did on the other side. Dumb cunts. Dumb, greedy cunts. They could have just... I probably wouldn't be making these videos if they didn't harvest my right-hand side patellar tendon. It would have just crushed and I would have had mad thrombosis in my right and left leg and probably would have succumbed to it because you feel pretty shit. But anyway. So this is your lateral knee capsule. It's also known as your oblique polpliteal ligament. It encapsulates your knee. Here's a good diagram. I hope you got a clear view. This thing that's like coming down there, that's your oblique polpliteal ligament. And then your knee capsule is like under that. And it's kind of a part of it, I guess. Yeah. And it just holds the synovial fluid in your knee. This is a really good diagram. So you see, that's the knee capsule there. It's encapsulating the knee. They call it the oblique post ligament of the knee. You probably can't see that, but yeah. Notice how the polpliteal vessels, so the polpliteal artery and vein, they're on the outside of that lateral knee capsule, and they're not in your knee where your anterior or posterior cruciate ligament is. So it's been shoved in there. I'll show you again. Notice how it's on that knee capsule there is torn and there's white either side of that lateral knee capsule. Now, you can even see the teeth. I'll go into some more photos. Alright, these are the up-close photos I took with the camera. I'll just narrate to you what I see. I kind of see that as a rule. Goes up there. You've got like the top of the fucking pyramid, I guess, here. And then the star. And then Satan doing the fucking child in. Alright. Notice the teeth. Might be a bit hard to see. But they're still lodged in like the jaw of the child. And I see this as Satan sacrificing a child. Head, arm of the baby, leg of the baby, leg of the baby. Robe, arm, eye, horn, 5-pointed star. And then this is each side of the lateral knee capsule. Now, see how this eye is covered? When someone opens me up to do surgery on me to remove this thing, they're going to see an eye looking back at them and the other eye is going to be covered, and they're going to have to make a choice. They're going to have to be like, am I going to turn a blind eye to human trafficking and child sacrifice, or am I going to do the right thing here? many have made the wrong choice. I'll say that. Many. Just get back onto that figure and we'll finish the photographs. Now, I changed the light a bit so you could kind of see, or so you could see in this photo, it's designed to see more. See that etching in there? Yeah, it's designed to bring out that a bit more. I'm not fucking editing this shit. I'm not that smart, but thank you if you think I'm that smart to edit MRIs. And yeah, cheers. 5-pointed star. Satan sacrificing a child. Skull slammed in there. Another up close image. Another up close image. Oh yeah, okay. So I'd like you to notice the teeth of the child, and we'll talk about when a child develops teeth in the womb and where I pulled this image from. This is from their scholarly literature. They're saying, I pulled it from Google Images. If you type in orthopedic surgeon, you'll be able to see this photo. It's from their own scholarly literature. It's like their title page. They're saying like, our hands are as strong as oxes, and you have to have hands as strong as oxes to be an orthopedic surgeon. So let's illustrate a red-headed beast on top of the head of an orthopedic surgeon, and we'll use it as our scholarly literature. So under a gold basket clock with these two angles coming down here, we'll just go into that. But first, we'll ask, when do unborn babies have teeth? The first stage begins in the fetus at about 6 weeks of age. Fetus, 6 weeks. This is when the basic substance of the tooth forms. Next, the hard tissue that surrounds the teeth is formed at around 3 to 4 months of gestation. So at around 12 weeks, your teeth is completely formed and sealed in your gums. For everyone. After the child is born, the next stage occurs when the tooth actually protrudes through the gum. Okay? So yes, it's fucking completely... Alright, so type in orthopedic surgeon grip strength in Google Images. And then, first thing. Orthopedic surgeons. As strong as an ox, almost twice as clever, ? Multi-center prospective comparative study, the BMJ. Let's click on it. So, it's their peer-reviewed literature. Yep, here it is. So, I'm referencing these people just so they don't fucking sue me for using their picture in my other videos, because they're good artists, and I wouldn't want to take credit for their art. But what the fuck? What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck? What the fuck? Sorry. Like, an orthopedic surgeon did this. Like, really, what is that figure there? Is it this? Where the fuck's an orthopedic surgeon? That from their fucking scholarly literature, while they're harvesting my organs and fucking stuffing aborted fetus skulls in my knees and drawing shit like that on my tibia head, branding me, marking me, drawing shit like that, 5-pointed stars, rearranging. See this? Even the track marks of the screws, it definitely shouldn't be that. The angle shouldn't be that sharp. It should be a wider angle. That's what it says on the S&M metal nail anyway. And he's really manipulated the surgery to do this and harvest my other body parts to as some sort of fucking murder art. So this is like a normal knee MRI of in that spot there, pretty much exactly where it is. And yeah, that's your articular knee capsule there, encapsulating your knee. Notice how nothing's in it, and then we'll go to my MRI. So we zoomed in and took so we zoomed in and took a photograph, and notice how there's something piercing both sides. This is of an MRI of my left knee. I have many MRIs. I'm not going to take you through and open up every MRI at the moment. Oh, but 1 second. You're gonna like, how did they operate on your left knee? I'll tell you. See this circular indent here? This is my left knee. See the circular indent there? While they were harvesting my right leg, they kneecapped my left leg with a metal pole vertically with a hammer, smashed it. So I'd need to come back for surgery on the left one. And then they abused me even more with another skull in the left knee. This is after MRI. So I have before and after MRI surgeries with Dr. David Christie. Before, the left knee capsule is intact and there's nothing between it. After, 5 years later, there is. And that's the smashed remnants of the kneecap, like 7 years later. That's what you look like if you get kneecap with the steel pole 7 years later. And this is the preoperative one. See how it's there? So that's how they got in my left knee. See these veins? They're swelling and busting. You can feel flutters going through them. It's designed to compress these veins to cause thrombosis and kill me naturally. Well, not naturally, but kill me and make it look like the most normal thing in the world. So, yep. See how it's crushed there, left knee. So essentially it's crushed and it makes the thrombosis in the left worse than it is in the right. Oh yeah, see that lesion? I'd say that's a fucking lesion because that is definitely not there before. It's a vein coming down and it's like split something or other. Just, it looks like it's from fucking hell. Oh yeah, that's where I've been, bit of remnants of the kneecapping. There's a side-on view. And you can see this is my right leg, side-on view. And you can see something at the inside of my lateral knee capsule, in between my knees, and you can see how it's on the outside as well. And you see this curve there. That is noticeable. Oh, and this is my left knee. Something either side of the lateral knee capsule. See how it's crushed. And notice how this is my left leg. Notice how these veins are popping out more. This is because the left one's crushed and the thrombosis is worse in the left leg than it is in the right leg. It's still bad, but it's far worse in the left leg because they didn't harvest the patella tendon and it fucking crushed. Alright. Give you another look at this axial shot. See how fucking mangled up it is in there? Super mangled. Definitely doesn't feel good at all. Now this image is a fat enhanced image. The machine that's fucking like the size of a truck that you get in, the state of the art thing, can like change the shade and stuff. So this is fat enhanced. Notice how it looks. It's still the shape of a skull, but it's still on either side, but it's had the fat enhanced so you can still kind of see, I guess, the skin on the fucking thing's face, I reckon. That's why it looks a bit weird. It's the same level. Really see how they've harvested the patella tendon there. It's the same level as this same shot, just different view. And then you can kind of see like the skull. So that if this was on x-ray, fat suppressed, not fat enhanced. And then you'd see, I guess, the bone a bit more. and tendons, I guess. But yeah. Now, this is the guy that told me when I asked what happened to my cut greater and lesser saphenous vein, he said, "Oh, well, we harvest that for cardiac surgery." Yeah, man. And I'd just like you to notice this tie. So see this tie? It's from the Fellowship of the Royal Australian College of Surgeons. Now, so that's the guy that had a Freudian slip and essentially just told me I'd been harvested when I asked why my veins are cut. Now, this is the guy that inserted the aborted fetus skulls in my left knee. See how he's wearing the same tie? Fellowship of the Royal Australian College of Surgeons. Essentially, it's super fucking hard to get medical help, especially with orthopedic surgeons, because they're all from the Fellowship of the Royal Australian College of Surgeons. If you want to be an orthopedic surgeon, you have to go to the Royal Australian Fellowship of the College of the Surgeons. And the guy who did this to me, Dr. Majid Jabur, trained in Baghdad in 1989, was on the head of the orthopedic surgeons for Iraq in 1997. From fucking Babylon in Baghdad, bro. Like a fucking Babylonian came and whacked me in a Queensland public health hospital. Now, the dude who did this to me, trains the Fellowship of the Royal Australian College of Surgeons. So you can't get a thing out of these guys, and if they do this to you, they will just lie and manipulate. Because they're fucking extremely smart, extremely well resourced. What are you on as a private orthopedic surgeon? Maybe 500 to 600k a year. Extremely well resourced. Yeah, and I'd just like to talk about the symbolism before I go as well. Just one more. What's that? Top of a skull and two femurs, okay? Skull and Bone Society, right? Skull and Bone Society. Now, that's a skull touching my femur, at the bottom of my femur. And considering all these people are extremely smart, extremely well resourced, extremely organized, you can't help but wonder. Fucking Skull and Bone Society trips you out, hey? Trips you out. Well, I see the Mason thing, I see the fucking child being sacrificed below a 5-pointed star, but yeah, I've been to a psychiatrist to ask if I'm hallucinating and all the tears and rips in my ankle and screw holes. And I've basically went in to see if I'm crazy, and then he's like, yeah, I see them. Disability support pension's easier to get for physical ailments than mental. And then I told him what happened, and then basically that statement turned into saying, oh, it's easier to get the disability support pension for being physically fucked up than it is to be mentally fucked up. That turned into, you're paranoid. So, yeah. Got heaps of videos and stuff. What else is there? Probably not much, man. It's been 6.5 years. These people are so systemically corrupt. That thrombosis in my leg, you clearly have before and after MRIs. I'm not going to take you fucking through them all. If you go through smash left knee with rod, insert aborted fetus skull for murder cover-up, ritual SRA. If you go through that video, you'll see before and after images of my left knee. And you can see the thing piercing my lateral knee capsule is not there. But yeah, anyway, these people are so corrupt. You'd never understand. Yeah, it's so hard to fathom. But this did not wake me up. I already fucking knew they were that corrupt. If anything, if it wasn't the Iraqi trained, Baghdad trained surgeon trying to fucking mutilate me. It was these Freemason satanic child fuckers. Like, the Pope was calling ISIS Satan. Like, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank God that fucking that concludes Skull and Bones. That concludes Skull and Bones. I gotta fucking do other shit. Oh yeah, and they're definitely trying to kill me also. Like, so from the 4 surgeries I've had, once they committed fraud, the other 3 times they fucking throttled me. So 75% of the time since 2015, every time they touch me, they try to kill me. Every time, consistently. So, like, yeah, I'm fucking stuck between a rock and a hard place, getting with some cunt with his foot on my throat, bashing me in the head with the butt of his rifle. But pretty much, bro. These people are sick. They're sick. Iraqis, fucking Chinese, fucking Thai, fucking Chinese, fucking... All the radiologists that should be diagnosing this are Chinese. 3 Chinese blokes and 1 English bloke. Yeah, all their names are listed. Yeah, I've seen, like, these people have to be occultists. Like, Dr. Tyson Donnelly, if I would say he's high on life because he makes that much money, he's just high on life. Oh, blasé, fucking yeah. But if he wasn't high on life, I'd say he's on fucking some sort of drug or something. Like, just to say, oh, what happened to my cut grader unless the saphenous vein? Oh, we harvested that for heart surgery. Like he's on drugs. And then when I'm leaving, he literally, he's like, goes, oh, see those things there? Yeah, they're just the devil. Literally like that. Gives me the upside down forks on his chair, leaning over like this, and go, yeah, those things, they're just the devil, with his double speak, double talk. Like, if you can find me a pulpiteal artery and vein that looks like that, sure, but I can't find it. I've been looking for fucking 5 months and I can't find it. So if you can find me something like that, sure. I asked Dr. Tyson Donnelly to find me something like that. He couldn't find it. Dr. Mark Jeffries, he's like, oh, that's definitely an artifact. You're going to have a hard time. Yeah, I see what you mean, mate. Yeah, that an artifact is where they, like, leave a bit of shavings in your leg from the rod. But, yeah. So, yeah. Wraps it up.